Oh. What's up, everybody? Sorry about that. Got started messed up. This is Super Mike 2164. We coming through. Just want to touch base with everybody real quick in the morning. Whenever that you hear this message, we'll cut out the first few minutes of this because it didn't even go. But real quick, we want to recognize what's an enemy. What's an enemy? See if this internet can work real good. Basically, black folks have a big problem in understanding just because you have a stable relationship with somebody who is proven themselves your adversary, and then you somehow come up with a stable, kind of a stable situation, basically. You still got to recognize that that's your enemy. That's still your enemy. It's because you got Queen Elizabeth, out here dead. You want to be nice now. What's that going to do for you? I mean, you can be nice, but are you really going to get something for it? That's what we want to touch base on. Why are some of y'all are crying for the queen? Crying. Doesn't make sense. Some of y'all are crying for the queen. And it's really not our place to do that. This is your enemy. Though this woman, there's so many things that we can go over, but just during this woman's overseeing, the time when she overseed what was going on, you got a lot of problems in maintaining the white supremacist style. She should have been tapping down her slave legacy and trying to, make peace with the world. But instead, she maintained it. She kept all those jewels. She kept stealing. That's what they do. Look at British Petroleum and Iran, the forgotten history. See, these are the oil barons of the world. In Iran in like the 1950s, 1959, you had, or 49, 50, you had like the Shah of Iran, who basically was, not really a good leader. He wasn't good at building the cohesion of his people, and people really wasn't behind him. And but he was being paid off by British Petroleum. They were exploiting the country. They were exploiting that country, and they had, the CIA and other people had negotiated a great deal for America and American businesses to make that better, like a $650 million deal that was negotiated by the CIA. Well, really the CIA director, but really it was Alan Dulles. He was a lawyer for Wall Street banker Cromwell and Sullivan at that time. But the bottom line is, these people negotiated a bad deal for Iran, but it was a good deal for American businesses and British Petroleum. But the bottom line is, you had one of their other leaders who was more of a grassroots guy, Mossadegh in Iran. He was like, no, we're not going to do this. This was their prime minister. He was like, we're not going to do this. I'm not selling the people out. So the CIA kicked him out, installed the puppet leader, and basically got their way. Later on, they were kicked out again, and this is the reason why we have the United States and the West have bad problems with Iran today. But Iran recognizes its enemy. That's your queen. That's that British person. These people are your enemy. If we don't understand that, we better get it. You don't get points being nice to your enemy. It just makes it easier for them to destroy and kill you. So that's something that we just need to understand. I just want us to understand that. And for some reason, I'm gonna have to update StreamYard or something because I can't play my saved videos. Let's see if this
What
works.
are your specific responses to the criticism that you're specifically targeting Atlanta's hip hop community through these lyrics?
I'm not targeting anyone, but however, you do not get to commit crimes in my county and then decide to brag on it, which you do that for a form of intimidation and to further the game and not be held responsible. One of the lyrics used in this indictment, just one of the lyrics, is me and my crew striking in all black. Send me the drop. We'll kick in the house. If we steal a car, we're going to take off the tag. Well, they kicking indoors, committing home invasions, and now I'm using those lyrics that they're admitting to doing that. I'm going to continue to do that. People can continue to be angry about it. I have some legal advice. Don't confess to crimes on rap lyrics if you do not want them used, or at least get out of my county. What this indictment represents is 6.
All right, so this is an enemy. This is your enemy's tactics. They're going to use your culture. Now, we know when people are rapping or coming up with songs, most of the songs are made up. They're made up scenarios. They're just stuff people come up with. But this woman here is now going to equate a rap song, a lyric in a song. There's so many songs. There's so many forms of art. You can take those art. So now songs are art. Now we can transpose this to maybe your Facebook posts, maybe your YouTube videos. Okay, they can call these confessions now. Are we going to transfer those to Hollywood screenwriters? Are these confessions? Okay. So when you see somebody's doing something that is going to destroy your plans, destroy your livelihood, or come after and target you, it doesn't matter what they say. That's what's happening. So that's another point. We have to recognize enemies. It doesn't matter if they're wearing blackface. Doesn't matter if the enemy's in blackface. If you're doing the bidding of our enemy, you're acting as their mouthpiece. Chasing a black man down, murder him in the street. So look at all of them. See that? That was military. This was the brother that they killed in Ohio again. And then they come here. That's your enemy. Look at the formal. They're all in suits. Doesn't matter. We better recognize this stuff. I'm just going through some of this stuff real quick just to touch base with everybody. Make sure you press the thumbs up button. And, it is what it is. Make sure you have your situational awareness out there. Make sure you teach your children, teach your family. Because if you are a family that's blessed to have parents that are halfway decent.
You're married. Raise your hand if you would.
You see, this is the consistent overtime attacks on the black community. For whenever our community decides to try to build itself up, repair the damages that has been done, we are noticing attacks over periods of time, long periods of time.
Like to be married to your baby's father? One. The rest of you who don't plan to get married, why don't you plan to get married? I'd like to know that.
You already have your child to think about, and then a whole family to care for. It's a lot of responsibility, and then you don't want the commitments.
I wouldn't want no man holding me down because I think I can make it as a single parent.
All All right, so we're not going to go into that whole thing, but the point is, who taught these girls? These are your parents now. A lot of us, we want to depend on parents to teach the children something, but who taught the parents? And who's teaching today's parents, future parents? You see, that mindset that these little girls at that time, this is in, I think, the 80s or early 90s, that mindset that these girls learned wasn't in their grandmothers. And I don't think it was in their mothers. Who taught this? Feminism. Okay, so are you doing the job to teach your current, your learning and your teaching is coming from your institutions in the Black community. It's not necessarily being passed down through families like it should be. So if we want to get back to where the things should be, I think we need to get into community building, and we need to protect ourselves and our culture so that we can properly communicate to our next generation. So I'm just going through some of this stuff real quick. This is almost over. We're just touching base. Make sure you press the thumbs up button if you're just coming through. This is just a quick message, Super Mike 2164. I think I'm going to end off on this one. Let me see here. This is what I wanted to show as well. 1 second here. Let's look at this. Hold on. Let's share the screen here. I wanted to show this too. Black folks, when we do the good job, a generation of us may do a good job. We may work hard. We may keep our families together. We take care of business as it should be taken care of. And we build up property, assets for our family, and we pass this down. We pass it along. But now there's a whole nother section of thievery, land theft, but it's legal. These are all the type of things that we got to recognize from our enemy. And these people can smile right in your face. You can laugh with them, but this is your enemy. And I just want y'all to see something here.
$555,000.
At a bargain of a price, right?
Well, I mean, I don't know, $550,000
For 500 acres?
Oh, I've seen 17 acres of land sold for $1,800, and believe me, that's disturbing.
The sale he's talking about was made in 2001 to a real estate investor named James Steele, who advertises his ability to force the sale of heirs' property. We caught up with him at a sheriff's auction nearby.
All right, suit number 41821, Tree Investments, LLC versus Maurice Hunter et al. The minimum acceptable bid is $2,294.25. The floor is now open for bids. Do I hear a bid?
Bid cost.
Okay, $2,294.25 is sold. Just put your name right there.
Morning, Jim.
Morning.
How you doing?
Fine.
What just happened today?
Now look, I just wanted y'all to see this. Look at this. That man is the enemy. That is an enemy to Black people right there. But he's talking to them. We need to understand this. Let's look.
Here.
Well, I bought an interest in a piece of land, an undivided interest, when it's inherited and there's a lot of heirs. I owned 24 acres out of the 52.
Before today you did?
Yes.
And now you came and purchased the rest. How much have you paid in total for 52 acres?
I would have to add that up because don't get me wrong, I do a lot of these and I can't keep them all in my head.
How does heirs property fit into your overall business model?
To be truthful with it, it's probably 90% of my business model. Even going back to the Civil War, we're doing some that the people in Civil War had it. I mean, they were slaves and they had it. And I've had other landowners come to me and say, well, would you file a lawsuit for me and do this? Because I don't want to be the bad guy. You be the bad guy because you already been the bad guy. You do this all the time. So I'll be the bad guy.
You recognize that what you're doing is perceived.
You look at me as evil.
No, I don't know. No, I'm saying, no.
Stop.
No, I don't. No. What I'm saying is to the.
Yes, we do. We recognize what you're doing is evil. See what this man does here. What this white man does is when your family gets a bunch of property for you guys and then it splits up to the children, he goes to each one of the children, each one of their little spouses, and he makes like people offers, especially the people who don't live on the land, right? Once he gets one of them to sell out, then he can force the rest of them to sell out. Force now, because he's an equal property managing person in there. And that's how they take everybody's property. And that's how they take the whole legacy of black land. You see? So there's just a couple little, points I wanted to put out there, guys. Just touch base with me. Let me know what you thought about the what's going on, Queen Neighbor. What's up, sis? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for chiming in. Everybody, press the thumbs up button. Let me know what's going on with you, what you think about the subject. And I'm gonna say peace out. Recognize your enemy. I mean, you can be civilized, but you know who's against your plans.